We have all seen the videos. The Witcher 3 versus Skyrim. The Elder Scroll versus The Witcher. Today, I'm going to give the ultimate answer that no one can disagree with. And the answer is... the question is wrong. It is as simple as that. These games... well, comparing them is quite literally like comparing apples to oranges. On the surface, they look the same. They're both fantasy RPGs. Just like apples and oranges are both round fruits. But both have things they are better at than the other. Just like apples and oranges. I mean, apples are not as useful in a lot of recipes as oranges are. But you're not going to make an orange pie. In the same way, The Witcher and The Elder Scrolls focus so much on different things that really they aren't comparable. I mean, what is the main focus of the Elder Scrolls games? Roleplay. Not the vague RPG term that way too many bloody games have. No, really roleplaying. Getting in a role and playing that role. The Witcher doesn't do this. They do something else which is, well, also very hard to do. They make actual good stories, great characters. These focuses are so different that you can't say one is better than the other. Because, well, once again, it's like comparing apples to oranges. I mean, you can definitely prefer one over the other. I prefer apples, and I prefer Skyrim. But I'm not going to say that it's better, because it's not. Just like oranges aren't better. And you can come with arguments like, The Witcher has better characters, or The Elder Scrolls has a better lore. That's still pretty subjective, and even then, they are there to serve the game's goal. The characters in The Witcher have to be good, because that's what the story relies on. While in The Elder Scrolls, characters generally aren't as fleshed out. But they don't need to be. You don't need great characters, because leaving them kind of open allows you to fill them in yourself. Is this something the game provides? No, but I don't think that The Elder Scrolls focuses really on what the game provides and more on what the game allows you to do. There are so many points I can, well, point to where they do things very differently that you may like or dislike. I mean, for instance, how they do books, how they do the journal. I mean, The Witcher has a great bestiary and a, I don't know, journal of all the characters you meet that you can read up on any moment. And this works really well for what The Witcher tries to do. The Witcher wants to tell a good story with deep characters. For that, it might be very useful to, at every moment, look up who every character was exactly. While in The Elder Scrolls, this isn't needed. Characters aren't that complicated, and generally they are less important characters. Less characters you need to remember for a long time, or that will return after a long time. So this glossary, or whatever it was exactly called again, isn't needed, so they don't use it, because then it can only ruin immersion, because your character doesn't have it on them at every moment. So where does it magically come from? A lot of things are different in these games, but it isn't better because they are there to serve a goal, and that goal is so different that you can't compare the things they use to achieve that goal. So, which series is better? Neither one. One series can be better for you. I mean, if you love role-playing, you probably prefer The Elder Scrolls. If you like good stories that, well, you have to think about but don't have to think up, The Witcher will be more your thing. and neither one is better than the other. I've heard people say, oh, people these days aren't creative anymore, they can't create their own stories. So, people have been retelling the same stories for thousands of years, so nobody can apparently think of a good story. Some people like experiencing their own bad stories, and other people like to experience the stories other people have made that are slightly less bad. And if you want to compare these games, compare them to games who do similar things. Compare Skyrim to Fallout. Or compare The Witcher to Mass Effect. Disclaimer, I haven't played Mass Effect, so I don't know if it does exactly the same thing, but it does more the same thing than Skyrim does. In the end, these games do such different things that you can't directly compare the two. So next time, before you say that one person is winning at chess, try to make sure that one of the players isn't actually playing soccer.